Welcome everyone again for another video on how this trading journey is going thus far. Um, I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are well. I'm glad you guys are able to see this video. And let's start it off with a quote of the day by which book is this? The Disciplined Trader. So obviously this is going to be by Mark Douglas himself. Now, this book, this is gonna be, yeah, the quote that I want to give to you guys today is gonna be, I say adapting. Let me just make sure. Okay, this book will serve as a step-by-step guide to adapting successfully to the unusual psychological characteristics of the trading world. I say adapting because most people venturing into the trading environment don't recognize it as being vastly different from the cultural environment in which they were brought up. So, comment below what you think about that quote. I think it's important for us to understand that successful traders, think almost like virtually 99% different than the average person, which is why only about 1%, maybe up to 5% of traders are successful in the markets, is because they think about 95 to 99% different than the average person. So that means you should think exactly like how a successful day trader thinks or trader thinks, which is 99 to 95% different than the average person. And over the past, it's been, I think, September or October, maybe November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It's been about 7 months from when I initially started to change the way that I view the market, change the way that I enter, change the way that I exit, uh, change the way that I manage my trades, change the way that I use risk management in trading. And I've had peaks and valleys. And from the time that I've been journaling to now, which I'm still journaling, um, I find that I'm more profitable when I don't pay much attention to the charts. So I've been over the past maybe I would say maybe like 30 days, I've been heavily invested more, my attention has been heavily more invested into my insurance business that I have. And I mean, mainly because the markets between the first month of the year, January, up to around June, haven't really been, I said June, we're not even in June yet, up to April. Yeah, April. So for 4 months when not 4 months, because I did start learning a little bit and then I started implementing. So probably, yeah, 4 months. I would say for the first 4 months of this year, so first quarter of this year, I definitely had, um, I in, I utilized ideas from books and successful traders who are on podcast, and um, I pretty much used those and implemented what I think is a great idea into my system. And so far, like anytime I mention to somebody that I'm not profitable yet as a trader, but I'm at the point where there's like an equity curve which should be going up anytime soon. Um, they just say, okay, well, you've been doing this on and off for 6 years and you have nothing to show for it. But you know, success doesn't just come overnight, and success could come in 6 years, but there's no, you know how you have an expiration date? There's no start date of when to see the fruits of your labor show privately or publicly. There's no start date. You have to trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Then once you see a little bit of success, sometimes you might get in your head and then it goes back down. And then you see a little bit of success and then sometimes you get in your head again and then it goes back down. So now that we're in this position, audio 7 times in this passing. Okay. I just got a notification. But yeah, with with that being said, I do want to show you guys a little bit about what's been working for me. And I'll do that here in a second. Let me pull up TradingView and then we can also do a breakdown of what I think should happen next week. 1 second, let me pull that up. Hope you guys have been well. It's like raining outside. I'm in Florida. All right, so this is my TradingView and I know I'm currently in maybe 2 or 3 trades. I'm not sure. We'll see. Trade locker. All right. I got 2 accounts, by the way. I'm not sure if my last video I explained this, but what I've been doing, and it's been extremely helpful for my mental, is I opened 2 different accounts. So one account is, and this is why I haven't really been showing my TradeZella account because I'm tweaking my system, and if I'm tweaking my system, it obviously tweaking my system goes against the trading plan that I explained to you guys before. So with that being said, I have 2 different accounts. Like I said, these 2 different accounts consist of one being a swing trade account and the other being a day trade account. So obviously the day trade account is a little bit more risk involved, meaning I might enter and then get stopped out, and then I'm most likely going to look for a re-entry as long as on a higher time frame I don't see a break of structure around the area that I'm entering in for, a move to the opposite direction. Then my swing trade, I don't really care what happens, um, as long as it doesn't hit my stop loss, of course. But I'm really just looking for it to be a couple days. I'm more prepared to be in the trade for a couple days rather than only a few hours or only a few minutes. Um, so yeah, obviously higher time frame will indicate whether I'm taking it on my swing trade account or my like day trade account. So I can show you guys what I'm currently in. So I'm currently in this first I'll show you the equity. So the equity on my account is probably $92. I'm up $7, 94 cents. Not much. I'm in a gold, what is that a sell? I'm in a buy for gold. I'm down $1.60. It's a Saturday, 7:34 p.m. Eastern Time, GBP. I'm in a GBP USD buy for $9.54. So for some reason, I guess the US dollars looks like it might be bearish since we're looking at buys on both GBP and gold. Then if we go to my second account, which is my swing trade account, equity currently is sitting at $92. So I have both of them started at $100. And AUD CAD is up $4.86. I got a buy on AUD CAD. GBP AUD, I'm up $10. So that's how things are going. These are both obviously live accounts. If you can see live. Yeah. So they're both live accounts. And they're going well. I mean, it's been a couple days actually, that I started this. I think I started it about a week ago, probably around like between the 5th and the 7th. So it has been maybe almost a week since I've been trading the way I'm trading with both 2 different accounts. It takes a lot of stress that I was having before off my back when I would trade. And I'm more relaxed. I'm more open to the process. and just sticking with the process and not, I'm really not in a rush to get rich quick as much as I was before. Because that's kind of like a milestone as a trader that you have to hit. You have to hit that milestone of delaying the gratification for trading. Like if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You have to have that type of mindset, and then you'll start seeing results. As long as you have a good risk management plan with a obvious strategy that should help you become profitable. So yeah, let's break down this AUD CAD trade that I am in a buy. I'm up a couple bucks and let me see. Okay, so and price was about as close to hitting TP, but it didn't yet. I'm still sitting in the trade, and if I go down, you'll see. Okay, so I entered somewhere around here, and my stop loss is like right below here. Did not get wicked out. I almost got wicked out, but price, um, as you can see, if we look at the daily, and this is what I found is has actually been hurting my trading profits. So what I caught myself doing literally month after month after month after month after month, maybe year after year. I want to honestly say year after year is I would look at I would look at price like this, right? I'm looking at price like this, then boom. I'm looking at price now like this. Now, my expectation is when price comes back to around this area somewhere up here, I'm looking for a major sell-off to the downside. I know people's probably gonna judge me about that, but I mean, that's just how my brain picked up, trading. And it took me until now to get that, you know what? Just look at the most recent structure. Let's look at the past couple of days. Let's look at the past couple of weeks. Now, I'm more interested now in the day. So the daily structure is what I'm more interested in than I am in the weekly time frame because there's more moves that you can catch as a day trader. Now, maybe if you're looking at like the weekly time frame, I think people who are investors are more so interested in the weekly time frame because those things could take, months to play out. Not that an investor is looking for couple months gain. They're really looking for long-term type of trades for over 12 months. So it's still considered a swing trade because it's under 12 months that a weekly move would typically happen. But when considering looking at weekly time frames, a lot of people who are investors would look at weekly, monthly, and yearly um structure or time frame. Now if we were to look at the reason why I took this trade is because if you look at this right here, you can see this is the daily time frame. You can see price came all the way up here, dropped down here, came above here, structure point went like this, and now we pulled back. And then if we look at the 4 hour time frame, you can see the 4 hour time frame looks like this. So 4 hour made a high, then it made a shot. This is the high. So high. Then what's this point right here? The measurement height is 88794. And then the close on this candle is 886 or no, 88798. 88798 and height, which means this is about 4 points higher, the close of this candle. So now that we know that this is a pullback, uh, hold on. This is a high. This is a low. This is a high. This is a low. Then this is the high because it closed above. Then this is a low. Then this is the high, right? So when we find that this is the high, I marked out 50% of this push up, right? And you can see price. Let me check the daily. Okay. So this is an area of interest on the daily time frame because we've got I can't even remember what I used before. Did I use this? You know what? I'll just use it. We've got one, two, three price points on the daily time frame, which, right, that's not the only confirmation that we got, but if we look at the 4 hour time frame, we're bullish. Daily, where our structure is bullish because we've been creating higher highs and higher lows. So being that we're bullish and we're also around, the EMA. And then we've got these three key points on the daily time frame, ensuring that this is a respected location. If we look at the 4 hour, also bullish. So daily bullish, 4 hour bullish. Now let's look at the 30-minute time frame. The 30-minute time frame, it came in that area, and you can see clear as day, low, high, low, break of structure. So now what I did was I set my limit, my buy limit, set my buy limit entered me in the trade, and then boom, now we're in profit, and we're still running in profit. And I anticipate for this move to hit TP. So that's what happened. Um, I've I've been using buy limits and sell limits, and I went and break even last week just because it's been the first time that I've actually been using buy limits and sell limits the way that they're meant to be uh used along with proper risk management. And it was a little rocky for me at first, but now I'm getting the hang of it, which is why I'm a bit, on the break even side from my first week of using it. So expect for more profits to start running in while I use the buy and sell limits. I think it's a great tool to have as a buy and sell limit. Let me see how this looks. Okay. But yeah, overall, I don't have any complaints about the yeah. I'm looking at um I'm looking at how my most recent journal has looked, and it does not look good, honestly. But the main reason why you see it doesn't look good is one, let me just show you guys because this is percentage. Look at the dollar figure. So it's not bad when you look at the dollar figure, but the percentage is actually bad. Makes it look worse than reality. But if you look at the dollar amount that I'm losing on a, daily or weekly basis, although I've been refining my edge, you can see, the L's are actually getting lower, which is perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. I don't care if it's a red day, I don't care if it's a red week, I don't care if it's a red month. As long as I'm starting to see some progress in the amount that I'm losing to decline, I know for sure that I'm gonna start seeing profits in the long term, in the future. And it's almost like buying power. Like I have buying power, just accumulating. So everything that's accumulating right now, on small accounts, I know without a doubt, I'm gonna start seeing a huge uptick in my profits in my P&L statement, without a doubt. I'm not even, and then once I'm able to do that, I can show you guys exactly. how the system works, how my system works, um, what type of mentality that you're gonna have to have in order to reap the same type of profits, if not more profits. And then I can also just share the knowledge with other people, and it's just gonna it's gonna spread like wildfire with the energy that I'm gonna be able to bring to you guys, the energy that I'm gonna bring to people across the entire world, not just the US, because I don't want to think small. I want to think on a higher frequency than just the US. I hate limiting myself. Limiting myself is not what I want to do. It's just not a good long-term thing. And you got to think big, but you also got to start somewhere. And I think this is a great vehicle to start. Well, I mean, insurance is actually a great vehicle to start. Because it also helps you develop your emotions. Um, you're not, when you're in the insurance industry and somebody says, hey, I can't talk right now, and why don't we speak in about a month from now? Like, and no matter what type of sales tactic you use on the in the conversation, they say, no, just next month, reach out to me or don't reach out to me at all. It's like you can't do anything in that case. Like, if they're not ready, they're not ready. Just be comfortable with that, respect that. And if somebody sells them a policy before you, also have some respect for that, but also be curious. Just ask a couple questions and for example, just look it over, make sure that they want with a plan that actually makes sense for them. And if you can't help them, just don't waste your time explaining how what you can sell them is better fit for them and stuff like that. If it's not, be honest with people. So, there's a lot of emotional regulation that you have to have in the insurance industry, which I'm extremely thankful for. I'm grateful for the opportunity in the insurance industry. And it just having limitations and you know, regulations. It helps tame you. It helps you become, build character. It helps you um start asking yourself questions, learning how you think as a person, learning more about yourself, learning more about things that happened in the past, in your past, and how things that happened in the past is affecting the decisions that you make today or tomorrow, or even why you've made a decision in the past. Like it's a deeper level when you are able to think outside the box and start looking at different perspectives. So I think what's extremely helped me with the way that I can think now is definitely the insurance industry. For sure. So this was last month, April, and this has been May. So you can see obviously 35 to 51 as a negative is bad. But if you look at this week that just passed, 11, 25, 12, 16, 6. Compared to these days, compare these days to these days, you can see the amount that I'm now losing has gone down significantly. It's about 50, it's between 50 to 75% per day that that is different. Now, although don't let these fool you, although the you're seeing green, um, I just the way that I was trading these to get the green, it just didn't, the system itself, I didn't agree on it. This was definitely a great trade, don't get me wrong. But these other trades, like, it crushes, like it ruins the account that I work so hard for. Not like so hard because it's not physical labor, it's mental labor. But like the amount of alarms that are set, this, that, this, that, this, that, yeah, no. So yeah, it's not worth trading the way that I was trading before. So I'm now more patient. Now that I also have two different accounts to look forward to trading, I'm more patient. Let me see if I take less trades. Four, five, six, seven, eight. Okay. Well, being that I have a high risk and a low risk account, now you're gonna see a little bit of an uptick in the amount of trades that I take on a weekly basis. Um, because I guess that's just my system. So that's pretty much the updates so far. Oh, I want to do a just a rundown on what we can expect to see this week. I was in a GBP JPY sell, but it looks like we got stopped out. No worries. Euro USD. I was in a Euro USD trade, but um yeah, that didn't go well. I was in a buy right here and to go take it up, but that didn't work. I ended up just closing out just because I knew I was about to get, stopped out. Also based off of the time of day. What else? Um, let's see. Mm, Yeah, I should have known that this was just liquidity sitting under here. I should have known. So yeah, now that we're in a bearish, we're bearish right now in the 4 hour, which is the main time frame that I typically look at for my trades. We can look here, see that this is probably, let me see. Yeah, we're probably gonna go up, take this high out, and then drop back down. So if we look at the 4 hour, now let's look at the daily. We can argue that we want to get in this area right here to probably take, a buy, but we have to look at this. Now, I think that we're gonna catch a sell either somewhere in here or somewhere up here. That's what I think. Looks very choppy, so I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna move it all the way down here because I'm not interested in choppy work. If it looks choppy, I'm gonna step out. We're in the AUD CAD trade. We're not in the GBP JPY trade. Let's see. Mm, daily. So weekly is bearish. Daily is currently bullish. Look at this. Close above this structure point, and we're bullish on the GBP JPY. What about the 4 hour? 4 hour went from bearish to bullish to bearish to bullish, right? We could have gotten right here for a buy up, but we didn't. I'm just gonna remove the drawings. I wish I'd seen this move coming, but I didn't. Move quick. Like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, a lot of times moves are being either set up or executed with these hedge funds and institutions and whoever else are market movers. Gold, I'm in this gold trade. Let me know what you guys think. It's right. So since we're bullish, I went on the 4 hour time frame to look for bullish as well. And you can clearly see that 4 hour time frame was bullish or bearish once it got here. Then we high, right? Created a new low and then created a high. So this just shows you that everything's bullish. Weekly's bullish, daily's bullish, and 4 hours bullish. And I got my entry somewhere here. All right. Now we should be taking it to the moon. Should be looking for a new high. This is the most recent high. So we should be taking that out. I'm in this right now, and then GBP CHF. Let's look at if we can spot any opportunities. Could clearly see that the weekly is bearish. Daily is bullish. We can definitely see that we're bullish. Hmm. I do not like the look of this, not gonna lie. I already spoke about that. GBP USD. Wow. This one's tough. Am I in this one? This one is tough. I'm in a GBP AUD, AUD CAD, and I'm in a GBP USD. So I'm in this for a TP at about 34,427. That's my take on it because if you look at the daily, what's actually crazy is that the structure on the daily time frame closed beneath this. So that might actually be a red flag. If you look at the 4 hour time frame, the 4 hour shows that this is our previous high, this was our low, this was our high. So we can indicate that there could be some market structure here to take us back up to the top. We had been under the 4 hour EMA, but right now you can see that, price kind of looks like that. If we take a little bit of a look at the DXY to see if we are um bearish on US dollar, then we can probably indicate that we're gonna, sell, buy on a GBP pair. But if we look at, because the daily is actively creating newer highs, which means that GBP USD could potentially, um, you know, could potentially reverse into selling. So it's not actually a great idea for me to be in that GBP USD buy. I might just close on Monday, hoping that I'm still running in profit, just but because my what I'm thinking is that actually might not work out. Next, USD JPY. I'm gonna actually highlight this to remind me. Yeah. Now USD JPY. So what are we doing? We're making newer highs on the daily time frame now. If we look at weekly time frame. Now, if we look at the weekly time frame, we're bearish, right? We're bearish. Super bearish. If we look at the daily time frame, we are, let's see. I want to look at the overall. So, first off, let's look at the overall. So, the overall is here, here, and then here. This is the actual move, right? But if we look at these type of, incremental moves, you can see that this is our structure point. Dupe. I can't tell. Hold on. The high is 145,926. Close 145,909. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this here. Actually, I'm gonna leave that there. So now we can take a look at the 1 hour, and if the 1 hour, okay, 1 hour is on point. 30 minute is also on point. Now, if we look at, hmm, The 4 hour. 4 hour time frame is bullish. Okay. So 4 hour time frame is bullish. I can vouch for that. Now, what about the 15 minute? 15 minute indicates that we went bearish. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put an alert here, right? And I'll see what price does in that area. Then I'll see if it makes sense for us to take sells. The reason I would take sells is because look, this is a respected key area. One, two, three, four, five, like there's a couple different times where price reversed off of this or continued off of this price point or this key level. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm most likely gonna sell once price, if price comes up into this area right here. And then I might just go for the only because we're already in the zone. If we weren't in the zone and we're doing something like this, and then price was coming down to this area, I'd look for the buy to take price to that area, that price point. But it's not the case. We're already in that location, so I will continue to um, look for some type of sell opportunity just based off of prices, past experience in that location. So I'll highlight this, bring that up. Next. Now, what I'll do is remove four drawings. Then I'll look at the weekly time frame and it looks like buyers have been in the market some more. I kind of want to change the color on this. Let's look at I think black is okay, black is should I do red? Let's do red and gray. I'm not afraid of red. Some people are afraid of red. Let's do red and yeah, red and gray. I don't mind. Okay. Kind of want to do red and white, but let's just leave it as red and gray. So low key, if price, if price did not close above here, I'd say weekly straight bearish. But unfortunately, we had a two weekly candle closes above, which means the weekly market movers who've been pushing uh and selling NZD, JPY, they're probably gone. They're probably out the market. Buyers stepped in and turned the weekly to bullish in my preference and what I'm seeing from experience. And then if the daily is also bullish, then that's a sign that we should probably be buying, right? Now we can see sell from here, buy from there, sell from here, buy from there. Now what? Sell from there. And then what? We're also above EMA. Next, what I'll do is throw a fib and then see what happens. I mean, I honestly think that I think that price might have already ran without us and it might just be too late to get into something like this. Like if we wanted to get in this trade, we would have to enter like somewhere here for it to financially make sense, right? So I disagree with entering this trade um with any interest. I have zero interest in trading that because the move's already it's already being processed. Now, weekly on this time frame on this pair, it appears that we're probably looking to catch. We've already gone 50% of the move of the weekly move, which is not bad. I mean, we're still overall bearish, I think, just because, you know, I think that if we were to close above here, this weekly candle, then we'd be bullish. But because this just doesn't look like structure at all. Excuse me. But if we pull up the daily, now the daily is actually tough. Okay, so what do I see on the daily time frame? I see point here, point there, point here, point there, mm, point. Oh yeah, nah. Here, most definitely. Yeah, definitely there. So now if we look to the left and go to the weekly time frame to see if there's any recent market structure in this area that we're in. One, two, three, one, two, three, four, right? So we have four around the weekly area of interest, right? This is a weekly area of interest. Not only that, like the daily kind of stops right there from us knowing where the last point of it being bearish is, and the EMA is also aligned with that location as well. So if we start just, adding to the confluence of us probably seeing this market go bearish, if let's say we go down to the 4 hour. Now 4 hour, we're above the EMA, which, you know, it's not terrible. I don't really see any imbalance to the left on the 4 hour, but there's a huge engulfing candlestick in this area. And yeah, 30 minute, let's see. That is a huge engulfing candlestick. We don't know exactly know what's gonna happen, but on the 4 hour time frame, since we are bullish, we could potentially see this price go from where it's at right now to sell. Boom, boom. That's what we could probably expect. So I would set an alert for sure in this area and I would plop that up top. I can't remember which one I would highlight to ensure you guys that I'm in the trade. If you remember, comment. If you remember, comment which pairs I highlight for what to expect for this week to probably catch. And then also comment um if you remember which one I was highlighting for the ones that I am actually actively trading because I cannot remember. But yeah, this is the AUD NZD trade that I'm expecting for this week to happen. Um USD CAD bearish. Not only is it bearish on the weekly, the daily time frame is actually bullish. So what could we expect to see from the weekly time frame? Let me tell you. Let me put you on. So stretch that out to here. We can expect a pullback and we can expect price to pull back from this point of interest right here. That's what I would expect, right? So weekly area of interest up around 50% of the weekly structure point. Retesting the EMA, making it a little bit higher than the EMA to drop again. We US dollar is weakening right now, but like I said, never know that if it could push higher. So this is what I'm looking at on USD CAD. Let's look at the daily time frame. Daily time frame went bullish. Let's look at the 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame also has gone bullish, guys. Hold on, let's see. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Now let's look at the 8 hour just for a little bit of better structure. Okay, so this is a perfect, 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 perfect time that we're in right now because not only has the 4 hour and 8 hour have the same, typically like the same type of market structure, but if you look at the daily is now just shifted to bullish. The 4 hour and 8 hour has also just recently shifted to bullish since last week. I'm gonna throw a 50% mark right here, an alert. And then if we can find some small time frame structure here, giving us a reason to throw a thorough buy-in for that type of risk to reward. So this is what I've got so far for this pair. Looks good. I like it. This is probably gonna be one of my best trades for this week. I'll throw it at the very top. Now oil, US oil. Let's see. We're looking at a bearish, a weekly being bearish. We're looking at, I really don't like this. I'm gonna throw this down here. I don't like that. AUDJPY. I don't like the AUDJPY neither. Throw that below here. USD, or this is US 30. Okay. What am I thinking for US 30? US 30's daily time frame has been making higher highs. Overall, we're bearish. What's the 4 hour time frame indicate? 4 hour time frame indicates that we are bullish. Is that true? Not true. Uh, actually, yes, that's true. So now if we look at the 15-minute time frame, if we get a close above here, right? If we get a close above here, then if we get a close above here, we could probably get I'm gonna click the 2 minute. When in 3 minute, we're probably gonna see some imbalance below this low right here. It's almost guaranteed. 2 minute, 3 minute. All right, safe. What about the 1 minute? Okay, I don't see any imbalance. If we get a 15-minute close above this market structure point right here, I think we should expect this, then this. But I could be wrong. So I would look out for this. I'm gonna put it yellow, drag it here. Or what can happen is, hmm, low key, what could probably happen is we're probably gonna start going bearish now. That could be the case, but for extra confirmation, like extra confirmation, I would wait until we get price to close below this structure right here. Actually, not even like right here. Because price peaked out and then closed above. So those are red flags. I would pay close attention, very close attention to this. Other than that, that's what I see. Nas, I'm gonna go on a weekly time frame. Now the weekly showing that we're bullish. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Looks like we are bullish. Actually, I don't think we're bullish. I still see that we're probably bearish. But then again, we closed above the weekly EMA, and you know what happens when that happens. Typically, right? On average. Like just look at that. Normally, we're above, we're buying. Normally, we're under, we're selling. Normally. So, yes, we closed above, and let's look at the daily. Daily indicates that it's playing around right here, but not only that, Now, if we look at this right here, this is what I've been telling you guys about. If you look at structure like this, it's like easier to understand what's gonna happen for the week, right? It is just price came here and then it stopped kind of like right there, kind of stopped short. So what can happen is we can get a daily pullback to wipe out these lows right here. Um, Let me just double check. I want to double confirm what's going on right here. So what's happened is this is a this is a high, right? So this is I mean, this is a low, and if price closes below that on the daily time frame, then we're bearish. But if not, then we're gonna continue creating highs. We're above the daily EMA, so I can respect that. Now the 4 hour time frame, what I would anticipate is some imbalance around this. Hold on, is that the 4 hour? Yeah. I would I would imagine that, hold on 1 second. Because this is the actual high. Then we got to pull back. Then we got to close above. Now, okay. So I'll put an alert here because this is our range. We got to know what our range is. 4 hour time frame, this is our range. Now, if we go to the 30 minute, 15 minute, we might see some imbalance, right? We might see some imbalance. And maybe even on the 5 minute, because I don't see anything on the 15 or 30 minute. Hmm. So we got some imbalance right here. And what about the 3 minute? 2 minute. Okay. Well, I mean, not much imbalance. This is the only imbalance that I can actually consider to be valuable right now. 1 minute time frame looks like majority of the imbalance is actually gone. So who knows? Let's see what happens in this area. If we get some type of 15 minute, market structure shift in this area, then I would probably consider it. But it looks like this has already kind of been wigged out, so I'm honestly not really even interested in this, in what's happening right here. Not gonna lie. But if price closes below, then yeah, we're for sure shorting this. I'm not really interested in it, honestly. Excuse me. I'll just let the alert do its thing. Let's look at the JPY, Japanese dollar. So looks like we're bearish on the Japanese dollar. Daily time frame bearish. Interesting. It's around like the weekly area of where, buys start happening. So could mean that, we're in this area also, right? Or no, this is AUD CAD. I'm sorry. I thought that was AUD JPY. Hmm. Strange. Where's our GBP or JPY trades? Yeah, we can probably look at this to be something that we might consider. We're definitely, yeah, we're most likely still bullish here. We'll see what happens on JPY pairs, but that's pretty much all I got for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to upload it now, and I hope you guys just, keep keeping up with your health, your well-being. Stay strong in the times we're living in because a lot's happening, and don't over flood you know, your brain cells with everything that's happening on the news because you can't really believe everything that's happening. Unfortunately. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I look forward to our next YouTube video with each other. Thanks for watching. Peace.